So, have you heard about what's happening with the rupee? It's kind of wild, actually.
Yeah, I did see something about it. I mean, the rupee slumped to a record low against the US dollar, right? Like 86.31 or something.
Exactly. It hit 86.31, a historic low. It opened at 86.12, but just plummeted after that, losing 27 pies in the process. Just crazy.
Wow, that's quite a drop. I guess it's like when you're on a roller coaster and the first drop is always the steepest. So, what's causing all this chaos?
Well, it seems like a bunch of things are contributing. A surge in crude oil prices, for one, which obviously doesn't help.
Right? Rising oil prices can definitely put pressure on the rupee. It's like a double whammy, affecting both inflation and the trade balance.
Plus, there are these persistent foreign capital outflows. I mean, basically, investors are pulling their money out, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, it's like a leak in a bucket. It keeps losing water, it's eventually going to empty. So, with investors pulling out, the rupee is naturally going to weaken.
Also, our domestic equity markets are seeing a negative trend. The Sensex dropped quite a bit, I think around 550 points, and the Nifty is down too.
So, it's like a domino effect, isn't it? One thing falling impacts everything else. If the stock market is down, it's almost guaranteed that the rupee would take a hit.
And the US dollar is just getting stronger, which adds more fuel to the fire. I mean, they've seen better than expected job growth over there.
Okay. So the US economy is doing well, which in turn strengthens the dollar. It's like the dollar's a magnet pulling in all the investments.
Right. And that's led to expectations that the Federal Reserve might slow its interest rate cuts, which has pushed up the US bond yield to nearly 4.76%.
Yeah, that makes sense. The dollar's strength is almost like a tug of war where the rupee is just getting pulled down. It's a tough spot for our currency.
Also, Brent crude oil rose by 1.44%, reaching over $80 per barrel. That's adding inflationary pressures as well, right?
Exactly. It's like adding salt to the wound. Higher oil prices lead to higher import costs, which weakens our currency.
You know, foreign investors sold off a net of around 2,254 crosses just on Friday alone from our capital market. That's a substantial amount, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's like someone emptying their pockets in a hurry. It leaves a big hole, and that outflow of capital further weakens the rupee.
So it's a bit of a perfect storm. A strong dollar, high oil prices, and domestic market woes all hitting the rupee at the same time.
It certainly seems that way. It's like a recipe for currency depreciation. But I am a bit surprised to see the RBI's forex reserves have also dropped recently.
Yes, they fell by a massive $5.693 billion for the week ended January 3rd. I mean, that's significant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a concerning development, like a sign that they're likely intervening to try and support the rupee, but obviously it's a losing battle currently.
But on a slightly brighter note, industrial production growth accelerated to 5.2%, driven by festival demand and manufacturing recovery, which is good news, right?
It is. I mean, it's like a small ray of sunshine on a cloudy day, showing that at least some parts of the economy are doing okay. But I'm not sure if that's enough to counter all these other pressures on the rupee.
So, despite some positive news, the overall picture looks pretty grim for the rupee right now. I wonder how low it can go.
Well, according to some analysis, it could potentially drop to 90 to 92 levels in the next 6 to 10 months. So we are in for a rough ride, I guess.
Wow, that's a pretty significant drop. It's like we're in uncharted territory right now. I mean, it's just crazy to see how much it's depreciated.
I know it makes you wonder what measures the RBI will take to stabilize things. It's like watching a ship trying to stay afloat in a storm.
I guess we will have to keep a very close eye on this. It seems the dollar index is also at a 2-year high, so the pressure is definitely on.
Yeah, it's definitely a complex situation, and there are many factors at play. I mean, it's like trying to solve a puzzle with so many moving pieces.
Definitely. And what is really concerning is the speculation about further weakening. Are you as worried as I am?
I think there is cause for concern. It's a reminder of how interconnected global economies are, and a few things going off track can have a ripple effect.
So, what should we watch out for in the coming weeks? I mean, I know we can't control any of this, but there are some indicators, right?
Well, I think keeping an eye on crude oil prices, the dollar index, and foreign capital flows will be really critical. They're going to be the key indicators to watch.
Agreed. And the performance of the domestic equity markets will also be crucial in this story. I mean, everything seems connected.
Exactly. It's like a delicate balance, and we need to watch how these factors interact to understand the rupee's next move. So keep a close eye on your investments, I guess.
Definitely, this is something we have to pay attention to. I'm just thinking, what could be the next big development in all of this?
Yeah, well, for now, it seems we need to brace ourselves and watch carefully. It's like waiting for a storm to pass. Hopefully, the worst is over.